Welcome, my friends. This is not just a video. This is not just a summary of a self-help book. This is a mirror. A mirror that will show you the truth you've been avoiding. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in life? Working hard, but going nowhere? You learn, you try, you struggle. But somehow, success always feels like it belongs to someone else. You look at rich people, and it almost feels like they're a different species. It's not that they were just born lucky. It's not just about money. It's not about their family or college degree or timing. It's about one thing: their mindset. Yes, rich people and poor people. They don't just live differently. They think differently. And this book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, is going to show you exactly how to rewire your thoughts. It's going to help you break the chains you didn't even know were holding you. It will hurt. Because some truths in this book will hit you like a punch in the face. But those are the exact truths that will free you. And while you're learning this, guess what? You're also improving your English, your vocabulary, your listening. Because this summary is made especially for English beginners who want to grow. So don't just watch casually. Watch like your future depends on it. Because maybe this one video can change everything. Let's begin. Wealth File 1. Rich people believe, I create my life. Poor people believe, life happens to me. This is the very first and the most important difference between rich and poor people. Rich people live life like they are the driver. Poor people live life like they are the passenger. They wait, they blame, they complain. They say things like, I was born in a poor family. My country has no opportunities. It's because of the government. It's not my fault. But rich-minded people, even if they're broke, even if they come from nothing, they say, I take full responsibility for my life. I don't care where I start, I care where I finish. Example. Imagine two brothers born in the same poor family. Their father is an alcoholic. Their mother works 16 hours a day. They have no money, no support, no connections. The first brother grows up and says, I am poor because of my parents. They ruined my life. The second brother says, I am poor, yes. But it's not my final destination. It's my starting point. One becomes a victim. The other becomes a warrior. That second brother starts learning English for free on YouTube. He works part-time, studies business at night, learns about online income. 5 years later, one is still blaming life. The other is giving his parents a new house. What changed? Not luck. Not the country. Not the parents. Only the mindset. And that's what this lesson is all about. Your takeaway. If you want to be rich, not just with money, but with growth, freedom, and strength, you have to say this out loud every day. I create my life. I take responsibility. I am in control. Even when it's hard, even when everything feels unfair, even when you want to quit, because that one belief can open every locked door. Wealth File 2. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game to not lose. This lesson is deep. Most people don't realize this, but they're living in defense mode. Poor and middle-class mindset says, I just want to survive, pay my bills, maybe take one vacation, that's enough. But rich-minded people, they say, I want freedom, I want choices, I want to win, I want to live life on my terms, not just survive it. There's a big difference between surviving and winning. Think of a football match. One team plays to win. They attack, they take risks, they aim for goals. The other team plays not to lose. They defend. They waste time. They're scared to take a shot. Guess what? The team that plays not to lose usually loses anyway. Life is the same. If you say, I don't want to be poor, I don't want to be unhappy, I don't want to struggle, you are playing to not lose. But if you say, I want to earn $10,000 a month, I want to speak fluent English and teach it to others, I want to give my family a better life, now you are playing to win. That small change in words creates a big change in your future. There was a man working in a parking lot. Every day he parked rich people's cars. One day he asked a driver, "Sir, what do you do for a living?" The man said, "I own 3 online businesses. I play to win, not survive." That sentence hit him hard. He could have stayed in that parking lot forever, just trying to pay rent. But that night, he went home and wrote, "I will no longer play small. I will no longer fear money. I play to win." That one sentence became his fuel. Today, he owns 2 cafes, runs an English coaching class online, and speaks to students around the world. Why? Because he changed his mindset. From fear to purpose. Your takeaway. Don't live life like a scared driver who's always hitting the brakes. Drive like someone who knows where they're going. Dream big. Play bold. Speak confidently. Because the world belongs to those who dare to win. Wealth File 3. Rich people are committed to being rich. Poor people just want to be rich. This sounds simple, but it is one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck in the same life forever. Let's break it down. There's a huge difference between wanting something and being committed to something. Almost everyone wants to be rich. They want comfort, luxury, freedom. They say things like, "One day I'll have a big house. One day I'll travel the world. One day I'll make so much money that I don't have to work anymore." But wanting is not enough, because wanting is weak. It's based on emotion, not discipline. People want to be rich, but they're not willing to wake up early. They're not willing to learn something new. They're not willing to invest money or time or energy. They're not willing to go through the pain it takes. And that's why they stay poor. Now compare that with someone who is committed. When you're committed, you don't make excuses. You make sacrifices. When you're committed, you don't say, "I'll try." You say, "I will do whatever it takes." And that one sentence, "I'll do whatever it takes," that's the line that separates the poor and the rich. Imagine 2 girls. Both come from the same city. Both are from low-income families. Both want to be successful and speak fluent English. Girl A says, "I want to learn English so I can get a better job." She downloads some apps, watches a few videos, and gives up in 2 weeks. Girl B says, "I will become fluent no matter what." She wakes up an hour early every day, listens to podcasts while cleaning the house, practices speaking with herself in the mirror, makes 200 mistakes, gets laughed at, but keeps going. One wanted, the other committed. Guess who becomes successful? Guess who gets the job? Guess who starts teaching English to others? This is not just about English. This is about everything in life. People who commit, win. People who just wish, wait forever. Deep takeaway. If you are watching this video right now and saying, "I want to be rich, I want to succeed, I want to speak English well," then ask yourself, are you committed? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Are you ready to stop blaming and start building? Because only then, only when you're fully committed, will the world start opening up to you. Wealth File 4. Rich people think big. Poor people think small. Now listen very carefully. This file can change your destiny. The world doesn't reward small thinkers. It rewards people who think beyond their limits. People who think small say, I just want to earn enough to survive. I just want a normal job. I don't want to risk anything. But people who think big say, I want to earn so much that I can retire my parents. I want to build a company that helps 1 million people. I want to become the best in my industry, not just average. Small thinking comes from fear. Big thinking comes from vision. Example, there was a man who opened a small corner shop. He told his son, one shop is enough. Don't be greedy, just stay safe. And the son listened. He spent 30 years managing that small shop. He made a little money. He survived. But he never grew. Now compare that with a young woman who starts the same small shop. But she has a bigger vision. She tells herself, one day I will have 50 stores in this country. She starts small, but she learns about marketing, branding, franchising. She studies while others sleep. She reinvests every dollar into learning and expansion. 10 years later, she owns a nationwide chain. What was the difference? Vision. Big thinkers see what doesn't exist yet. Small thinkers only see what's safe. Lesson for you. Don't play small. Don't think small. If your goal is to earn $500, aim for $5,000. If your goal is to learn English, aim to teach English to others. Think big. Because big goals create big focus. Big focus creates big energy. And big energy creates big results. Wealth File 5. Rich people focus on opportunities. Poor people focus on obstacles. This is one of the biggest mindset shifts that will change your life forever. Poor people see problems everywhere. Rich people see possibilities everywhere. When an idea comes, poor mindset says, what if I fail? What if I lose money? What if people laugh at me? Rich mindset says, what if it works? What if this is my chance? What if I can actually do this? One mindset shuts down the dream. The other one fights for the dream. Let's say you want to start a YouTube channel. Poor mindset. But I don't have a good camera. My English isn't perfect. What if nobody watches? Rich mindset. I'll start with my phone. Every video will improve my English. Even if one person watches and learns, it's worth it. Same situation, two different thoughts, two different futures. Deeper story. There was a man who lost his job during a recession. Everyone around him said, this is the worst time. Sit at home. Wait for the economy to improve. But he had a different mindset. He said, this is the best time. While others are sleeping, I will build. He started selling homemade snacks online. In the beginning, he failed. His internet was slow. His family laughed. His orders were delayed. But he focused on the opportunity. People were staying home, ordering food, trying new things. He improved the packaging. He started posting on Instagram. He built a community. Today, he employs 40 people, all because he focused on opportunity, not obstacles. Lesson for you. Right now, your mind is choosing where to focus. Are you focusing on your broken English, your small town, your family's negativity, your fear of judgment? Or are you focusing on the phone in your hand, the free internet access, the millions of people who want help, the possibility that you can rise? The one who focuses on obstacles will always find a reason to quit. the one who focuses on opportunity, will always find a way to win. Wealth File 6. Rich people admire other rich and successful people. Poor people resent rich and successful people. This lesson exposes one of the most dangerous and invisible habits that keeps people poor: jealousy and resentment. Let me ask you a question. What is your first reaction when you see someone driving a luxury car? When you see someone post pictures from Paris or Dubai? When someone younger than you buys a big house? Do you feel inspired? Or do you feel angry, jealous, and think things like, they must have cheated? They were just lucky. They probably come from a rich family. This thought process might feel small, but it is incredibly dangerous. Why? Because you cannot become what you hate. If you secretly believe that rich people are bad, greedy, or corrupt, then your brain will never allow you to become rich. Even if you start earning more money, something will go wrong. You'll spend it all, sabotage yourself, or quit. Because deep down, you believe, if I become rich, I'll become a bad person too. That belief will destroy your future. There were two boys working in the same hotel. One was a server, the other worked in the kitchen. A rich man used to come every weekend. He wore expensive clothes, drove a luxury car, and gave big tips. The kitchen boy used to say, "Ugh, people like him. They just show off. He probably scams people for that money." The server, on the other hand, said, "I want to learn from this man. I want to talk to him. Maybe he'll teach me something." One resented, one admired. Guess what happened? The server eventually spoke to that man, learned about e-commerce, and got his first job in the man's company. The kitchen boy? He's still there 15 years later, angry, bitter, and stuck. One simple mindset difference changed everything. Let's say you see someone speaking fluent English online. They have millions of followers. They're teaching people, making money, becoming popular. A poor mindset will say, "This guy is fake. He's just copying others. He got lucky." But a rich mindset will say, "If he can do it, I can do it too. Let me study how he speaks. Let me practice harder." You have two choices every time you see success. 1. Resent it. 2. Respect it. And only one of those paths leads to greatness. Your takeaway: if you want to become rich, start by celebrating rich people. Watch how they talk, how they walk, how they think. Don't copy them blindly. Learn from them wisely, because admiration creates connection, and resentment builds walls. Wealth File 7. Rich people associate with positive, successful people. Poor people associate with negative or unsuccessful people. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. Read that again. Even if you are motivated, focused, and hungry for success, if you're surrounded by people who complain, fear, blame, and laugh at your dreams, it will slowly kill your potential. Your mindset is like a garden. If you plant roses but surround it with poison, the roses will die. That's what happens when you have big goals. But you're surrounded by people who say, "Don't dream too big. Be realistic. You'll fail anyway. You're wasting time." Nobody in our family has done that. These people are not always your enemies. Sometimes they are your closest friends, your relatives, even your parents. But here's the truth. You don't have to hate them, but you don't have to listen to them either. Example: a boy from a small town wanted to become an online English teacher. His friends laughed at him. They said, "Who will learn from you? Your English is bad. You're wasting your life." But he made a bold decision. He stopped hanging out with those friends. He started spending time with online communities where people were learning, teaching, and growing. He joined free English groups. He listened to motivational podcasts instead of gossip. He watched TED Talks instead of Netflix. In 2 years, he built a course that helped 500 students. His old friends still make fun of him. But now, they do it from the comment section, while he earns in dollars. Lesson: if everyone around you is negative, lazy, or angry, you will slowly become like them. But if you surround yourself with motivated, smart, positive people, even if you're weak right now, you will rise. So choose wisely. You don't become rich by walking with the poor in mind. You become rich by walking with the rich in spirit. Your takeaway: start cleaning your circle. You don't have to cut everyone out. Just reduce the time you spend with those who drain your energy, and increase time with those who light a fire in you. Your future is shaped by the people you allow in your present. Wealth File 8. Rich people are willing to promote themselves and their value. Poor people think negatively about selling and promotion. This is a lesson that many people ignore, and it silently kills their success. Let's be honest. We live in a world where if people don't know you, they can't pay you. If people don't know what you do, they can't support you. Yet so many people are afraid of promoting themselves. They think, I don't want to look arrogant. What if people say I'm showing off? What if they laugh at me? I don't like selling. And because of that mindset, they stay small. Rich-minded people understand this simple truth. If you have something valuable, you have a responsibility to share it. Selling is not begging. Promoting your skills is not showing off. If you teach English, tell people. If you write books, promote them. If you can solve a problem, shout it from the rooftops. Because if you don't believe in your value, why would anyone else? For example, a woman who could speak 4 languages started making videos to help others. Her first video had 12 views. She felt embarrassed. She stopped posting for 3 months. Then she read this lesson, and she made a promise to herself. I will promote my value. I will share what I know, not for fame, but to serve. She posted every week. She asked people to subscribe. She told her story, her pain, her passion. One day, one of her videos went viral. Now she has a full-time income, just by teaching people what she already knew. Why? Because she stopped hiding her light. Lesson: if you're shy to talk about your skills, products, or dreams, you are not being humble. You are being selfish, because there are people out there who need what you have. And if you don't share it, they will never grow. Promoting yourself is not about ego. It's about impact. Your takeaway: start small. If you have something to say it. If you have something to sell, share it. If you have a skill, use it loudly. Let people see you. Let them judge you. Let them mock you. But never let them stop you. Because silence doesn't serve the world. Your voice does. Wealth File 9. Rich people are bigger than their problems. Poor people are smaller than their problems. Let's take this slow. This lesson is one of the deepest, most powerful truths in the entire book. If someone truly understands this one, they'll never be the same again. We all have problems. Some people are poor. Some are sick. Some are lonely. Some are stuck in a job they hate. Some can't speak English fluently and feel embarrassed. Some come from broken families. But listen carefully. The size of your life will always be equal to the size of problems you are willing to handle. Poor people always try to escape problems. They say, "Why is this happening to me? I can't take this anymore. My life is too hard. I don't want problems. I just want peace." But rich-minded people think completely differently. They say, "Problems are part of growth, and the faster I solve them, the faster I grow." They don't try to run from problems. They try to become stronger than the problem. Let me give you an example you'll never forget. Imagine a man standing at the bottom of a mountain. He wants to reach the top because there's a treasure waiting. But the path is dangerous. It's full of snow, rocks, wild animals, and steep edges. Now imagine this. One climber looks at the mountain and says, "This is too dangerous. I don't want to get hurt. I'll just stay here." Another climber looks up and says, "Yes, it's hard, but if I stay here, I'll regret it forever. I'll climb, I'll train, I'll bleed if I must, but I will reach the top." 10 years later, the one who stayed at the bottom is still complaining about life. The one who climbed, he's not just rich, he's unshakable. The mountain didn't change. The person did. That's the lesson. Don't ask for an easier life. Become a stronger person. Key takeaway. Rich people don't wish for fewer problems. They build the mindset, strength, and skill to handle more. They don't say, "I can't." They say, "Not yet, but I will." Don't pray for your life to get easier. Train yourself until your problems feel smaller. That's how you win. Wealth File 10. Rich people are excellent receivers. Poor people are poor receivers. Now this one may surprise you. We often talk about how to give more, give time, give value, give help. But this file is about the other side, the ability to receive. And poor-minded people are terrible at this. They say things like, "Oh, I don't deserve this." No, don't pay me too much. I feel guilty when people give me something. I'm just doing my duty. No need to thank me. Why does this happen? Because deep inside, they don't feel worthy of receiving. They think receiving money, praise, gifts, love somehow makes them selfish. But rich-minded people? They understand a universal truth. To receive is to complete the cycle of abundance. You cannot only give. You must also be able to receive. And when you do, you must receive it fully, with gratitude and without guilt. There was an incredible artist in Kenya. He painted beautiful portraits, but only did it for friends. He never charged. He said, "Art is my passion. I don't want to ask for money." One day, a rich businessman saw his work and said, "I'll pay you $500 for a custom painting." The artist said no. Why? Because in his heart, he felt unworthy. He was afraid to receive. Years passed. He worked small jobs just to survive, while his talent stayed hidden. Until one day, someone told him, "You're not being humble. You're being afraid. If your gift helps someone, why shouldn't you receive something in return?" That one mindset shift changed his life. He started charging for his art. He now runs a full-time art business and teaches others to believe in their worth. You cannot grow if you keep rejecting the good things coming to you. Your takeaway: start receiving. When someone compliments you, say thank you. When someone offers you help, accept it with gratitude. When someone pays you for your work, receive it with pride. Because when you open your hands to receive, you also open your life to growth, wealth, and abundance. Wealth File 11. Rich people choose to get paid based on results. Poor people choose to get paid based on time. This file is about freedom and ownership. It shows the difference between a mindset that is limited by the clock and a mindset that is driven by value. Poor people think like this. I work 8 hours a day. I should get paid for 8 hours. They are tied to the clock. They believe the more hours they work, the more money they deserve. That mindset sounds reasonable, but it has a ceiling. There are only 24 hours in a day. Rich people think like this. What value am I providing? What results am I producing? How many lives am I changing? They get paid for impact, not minutes. Example: Teacher A works in a local school. She teaches for 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. She earns a fixed monthly salary. She is smart, kind, hardworking. Teacher B teaches online. She creates a course that helps students pass an international English test. Each student pays $50. She gets 300 students in 1 month. She earns more than Teacher A earns in a whole year. Now here's the key point. Teacher B didn't work more hours. She created more value and got paid for the results she gave. A man works in a shoe factory. He stands for 10 hours, makes 40 pairs of shoes a day, and gets $10 per day. Another man learns how to design websites. He builds a one-page site for a business in 5 hours. He earns $300 for that project. Now someone might say, that's unfair. The factory worker works more hours. But the truth is, it's not about hours. It's about value. The market rewards those who solve problems, produce results, and create impact. What you can learn. Ask yourself, are you being paid for your time or for your value? Are you just clocking in? Or are you transforming lives? If you want to move to the next level of wealth, you must stop thinking like an hourly worker and start thinking like a value creator. Wealth File 12. Rich people think both. Poor people think either or. This lesson is not just a mindset. It's a complete mental upgrade. A new operating system. Poor people always believe in limitations. They believe life is a choice between two things. Either I can be rich or I can be a good person. Either I can be successful or I can be happy. Either I can spend time with my family or make money. Either I can follow my passion or I can be practical. This kind of thinking is like putting yourself inside a small box. You close the doors of your future before life even tests you. But rich-minded people don't accept limits like this. They say, why not both? Why can't I be rich and kind? Why can't I be healthy and work hard? Why can't I earn money and have time freedom? Why can't I be a learner and a leader? This shift is small in words, but massive in reality. It creates a life of possibility, not restriction. Example: a woman in South Korea dreamed of becoming a mother, but she also had a dream to start a baking business. Her family, her husband, and even her friends told her, you can't do both. Once you have a child, forget the business. Don't dream too much. Just focus on being a good wife and mother. She listened quietly, but inside, she whispered to herself, why not both? While pregnant, she studied baking every night. She experimented in her tiny kitchen, sometimes at 2 a.m. After giving birth, she used nap times to test new recipes, design her logo, and post online. People said she was crazy. She smiled and kept baking. 6 years later, she's the founder of a chain of cafes across Asia. She runs her company. She homeschools her 2 kids. She didn't choose either or. She chose both. This is what rich thinkers do. They don't accept the limits the world gives them. They expand their thinking until it fits their dreams. Next time your mind says, I can't do both, pause, breathe, and ask, is this really impossible or just unfamiliar? Replace either or with, how can I have both? This one change will open doors in your mind, and that's where all success begins. Wealth File 13. Rich people focus on their net worth. Poor people focus on their working income. This lesson will separate temporary success from real wealth. Let's break it down in simple words. Most poor or middle-class people only care about how much they earn every month. They say things like, I earn $800 a month. I make $50 a day. I just got a raise of $100 a month. This is working income. And yes, it matters. But it's not the full picture. Because even if you make $1,000 a month, if you spend $990 every month, if you have no savings, no investments, no assets, then your net worth is close to zero. Rich people don't just ask, how much am I earning? They ask, how much am I keeping? How much is growing? What do I own that makes money for me, even when I sleep? That's called net worth, and it includes your savings, your investments, your businesses, your properties, your assets, your long-term value. And that is the real scoreboard. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you build. Example, a young man in Nigeria worked as a software developer. He earned a good salary, $2,000 per month. His friends admired him. He bought the latest phone, rented a nice apartment, and partied every weekend. But after 5 years, he had nothing saved. Then something happened. One of his classmates, who worked at a slower job earning just $800 a month, bought his first house. The man was shocked. How can he afford a house? I earn more than double his income. So he asked, and the classmate said, because I focused on net worth, not monthly income. I lived small, saved big, invested in land, and I built slowly. This was a slap of truth. The man earning $2,000 a month had a rich salary, but a poor future. The one earning $800 a month had a humble salary, but a growing empire, and that changed everything. The first man began budgeting. He started tracking his net worth. He saved 30% of his income every month. He bought a piece of land after 2 years. Today, he owns 2 properties and has 3 sources of income. Why? Because he stopped chasing the monthly number and started building wealth that lasts. Lesson: stop asking only, how much do I earn? Start asking, how much am I worth if I stop working tomorrow? Track your net worth every 30 days. Watch it grow. Let it guide your decisions, because income comes and goes, but net worth stays, and net worth is the real path to freedom. Wealth File 14. Rich people manage their money well. Poor people mismanage their money well. This is where 90% of people fail. Not because they don't earn enough, but because they don't manage what they already have. Managing money doesn't mean being rich. It means respecting every dollar, euro, pound, peso, no matter how small. Poor-minded people say, I'll manage money when I make more. What's the point of saving $10? That's nothing. I'm bad with money. That's just who I am. I'll think about investing next year. These beliefs are poison. Because the truth is, if you can't manage $100, you'll never manage $10,000. If you don't track your money now, you'll lose it later, even if you earn more. Rich people treat their money like a business. They know exactly how much they spend, where their money goes, what percent goes to savings, investing, spending, giving, learning. They have a system. They track every detail. They don't let emotion control their wallet. They own their money instead of being controlled by it. Example: a girl in Egypt worked as a tour guide. She earned only $400 per month. She lived in a small room with her parents. Most people in her neighborhood said, "No one can save on this income. Forget investing. Just survive." But she thought differently. Every month, she divided her salary into 5 jars, one for 50% for essentials: food, transport, family. 2, 10% for saving. 3, 10% for education. 4, 10% for fun. 5, 20% for long-term investing. Was it hard? Yes. Sometimes she skipped going out. Sometimes she cooked instead of ordering food. But guess what happened? In 3 years, she had saved over $4,000. She used it to take a business course, launch a travel blog, and get clients internationally. Now she works online and earns in foreign currency, 5 times more than before. Not because she earned more, but because she managed more. What you must understand: money is energy, and if you mismanage it, it escapes you. But if you manage it, it multiplies. You don't need a financial degree. You don't need a $10,000 salary. You just need discipline, awareness, and a system. Wealth File 15. Rich people have their money work hard for them. Poor people work hard for their money. This file is not just a mindset. It is a total change in how you live, think, and move through this world. Let's break it down. Most people, especially those with a poor or middle-class mindset, are trained to think like this: if I want more money, I have to work more hours. If I want to earn more, I must work harder. Money only comes through sweat, pain, and effort. They believe money comes only when they move. When they stop, money stops. This mindset is what traps millions of people in a life of labor, even when they are smart, skilled, and hardworking. They exchange their time for money. But time is limited. You only have 24 hours in a day. You sleep, you eat, you travel, and you're left with a few hours to earn. That's why most people stay stuck in a loop. Work, eat, sleep, repeat. Rich-minded people break this cycle. They ask a completely different question: how can I make money, even when I'm not working? They understand that the goal is not just to work harder, but to build systems, assets, and income streams that work for them. They put their money in motion. They invest, they build, they automate, they scale. Because when your money works for you, you gain something priceless: freedom. Example: in the Philippines, a man named Carlo worked as a delivery rider. He made money per ride. Every day, 7 days a week, sun, rain, or storm, he worked. He had no savings, no holidays, no weekends. But one day he made a delivery to a man who owned several small kiosks. They spoke briefly, and the man asked Carlo, "What do you do with your money?" Carlo replied, "I use it to eat. The rest is gone in a day." The man said something that changed Carlo forever. Use your hands now, but build something that earns with or without your hands later. Carlo went home, opened a notebook, and wrote one sentence: I will make my money work harder than me. He started saving 5% of every day's income. In a year, he saved enough to buy a second-hand cart. He gave that cart to his cousin and sold fresh juice at the park. They shared the profit. Then he bought another cart, and another. In 4 years, he wasn't delivering anymore. He owned 12 carts. He slept peacefully while others worked, because now his money was working. Carlo didn't win by running faster. He won by planting seeds that grew while he rested. That's what this wealth file is all about. Takeaway: you can't be free if you must work every hour just to survive. You must build assets that earn while you sleep. Start small. Save a part of your income. Learn investing basics. Create something once, a digital product, a service, a course, that can sell again and again. Your body can only work so hard, but your money, skills, and ideas, if used wisely, can work harder, longer, and smarter than you ever can. That is real wealth. Wealth File 16. Rich people act in spite of fear. Poor people let fear stop them. This is the most emotional, real, and honest wealth file in the book. Because fear is the one thing that kills more dreams than failure ever could. Everyone feels fear. Even rich, successful, powerful people feel afraid. Afraid of losing money. Afraid of being judged. Afraid of failing. Afraid of not being good enough. Afraid of wasting time. But here's the difference. Poor-minded people wait to feel fearless before they move. Rich-minded people move even while they are afraid. Fear is like a wall in your mind. If you keep staring at it, it grows bigger. But if you start walking through it, you realize it was never real. It was made of air, not bricks. Example: a young woman from Colombia wanted to start a podcast in English, but she was terrified. Her English wasn't perfect. Her voice shook. She thought, people will laugh. What if I say the wrong word? What if nobody listens? So she waited, and waited, for 2 years. Then one day she saw a video of a boy with a speech disability giving a speech in front of thousands, and she cried. She realized, if he can speak with a trembling voice and change people's lives, then what am I waiting for? That night, she recorded her first episode. It was not perfect, but it was honest, emotional, and brave. Only 11 people listened, but one of them emailed her and said, "You gave me hope. Please don't stop." That was the beginning. Today, her podcast has over 2 million downloads. She speaks around the world, and she tells everyone the same truth. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the choice to move, even when fear is loud. That's what this lesson is about. Your deep takeaway: fear is not your enemy. Fear is your signal. It shows you where your next level is waiting. The more scared you feel, the more that thing probably matters. So stop saying, "I'm not ready. I'm scared. What if I fail?" Start saying, "I'll do it afraid. I'll grow by walking into the fear, not away from it." Your dream life lives on the other side of your fear. And the only way to reach it is to walk through. Wealth File 17. Rich people constantly learn and grow. Poor people think they already know. This is the final wealth file. And it's the most important of all. Because everything you've learned so far, every single wealth file, means nothing if you stop learning. Poor-minded people believe their brain is full. They say, "I already know that. That won't work for me. I don't need to read. I've tried everything." They close the door before they even knock. But rich-minded people are eternal students. They ask, "What else can I learn today? Who can I study? What books can I read? What mistakes can I learn from?" Because they know, if your mind is not growing, your life is dying. Growth is not a stage, it's a lifestyle. Example: a retired farmer in Italy, age 64, decided he didn't want to spend the rest of his life doing nothing. He could barely use a smartphone. He didn't speak English. He had never traveled outside his town. But he made a decision. He said, "Before I leave this world, I want to learn how to use the internet. I want to learn English. I want to understand how the world works." People laughed. They said, "You're too old. Why now? Just relax." But he said, "I'm not done growing." Every day for 2 years, he practiced online. Today, he runs a small YouTube channel where he teaches Italian farming tips to people all over the world, in English. He's 67. He's not rich in money, but he is rich in growth, purpose, connection, and global impact. He is proof that learning never ends, unless you choose to stop. Final takeaway. The most dangerous sentence you can say is, "I already know," because the moment you believe there is nothing left to learn, that's when your future stops. Read more, listen more, ask more. Stay curious, because the mind that stays open always finds a new way to rise. You have now completed all 17 wealth files from Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Not just read, but felt, understood, absorbed, lived. This is not just a summary. This is a transformation. You've seen what rich-minded people believe, how they act, how they grow. You've seen examples from all over the world. And now, you have a choice. You can close this video and say, "That was interesting." Or you can say, "I will live this. I will think differently. I will change my habits, my mindset, my language, my wealth. I will become the kind of person who builds a rich life, inside and out." Remember, you are not poor because of your income. You are poor because of your programming. But the code can be rewritten. And today, it already started. And if you feel something inside you right now, a small fire, a quiet voice saying, "I want more. I want better. I want to grow," then don't ignore that voice. Because your past does not decide your future. Your habits do. Your mindset does. Your belief in yourself does. Maybe you were told you're not smart enough. Maybe you were told success is for others. Maybe you failed before. But now you know. You were not born poor. You were trained to think poor. And just like you were trained, you can be retrained. You can now think like the rich, act like the rich, and slowly, step by step, become one of them. Not just rich in money, but rich in confidence, in peace, in freedom, in purpose. So don't wait for the perfect day. Today is the perfect day. Don't wait for confidence. Courage comes first. Confidence comes later. Start small. Start scared. Start alone if you have to. But just start. Because your new life begins the moment you stop thinking like the old you. And if you keep learning, keep growing, and keep walking forward, one day, people will ask you, "How did you do it?" And you'll smile and say, "It all started with a book and a decision to change. Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. I am no longer the same. I choose to think like the rich. I choose to act in spite of fear. I choose to grow no matter what, and I will create a future I'm proud of." Let this be your new beginning. And if this helped you, don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Because your journey is just starting, and I'll be here with you every step of the way. Now go and build the life that once felt impossible. Because now you know it's possible.